Thanks you guys for checking out my channel. Today I'm just showing you around my home and my recording studio. I've been recording and producing music since 2000. This house was built knowing that I was gonna do recording and turning it into a studio. So I didn't really know nothing about music and I didn't know much about recording at the time, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. So let me show you around. All right, just gonna show the ceilings, what the ceilings look like, because it has vaulted ceilings. Right here, it's like a whole cloud dropped down, and then it goes back out that way. It's kind of hard to tell, but I hope you can get a good visual from the video. So that's what the ceilings look like. And the drywall is a triple drywall. My brother, he was a superintendent of these homes, and they built this in 2000 when I moved to Las Vegas. So I was able to customize it, and I knew I wanted to record music, so they hooked it up. So right here we have the bass section. We have the Hofner bass, kind of like Paul McCartney played, Sir Paul. And over here we have this Fender. This is the jazz bass. Boom, boom. I could play the bass. I have a guitar technique on the bass guitar. I could play with a pick and I can kick ass. I don't have the bass two-finger, the bass technique. I'm sure I can learn it, but if I play the bass, I'm usually using a pick, or I'm just kind of have my own like guitar technique, because I'm a classically trained guitar player, like finger style. When I play the bass, I kind of want to use each finger for each string, and I don't know, so maybe I can learn the proper technique, but playing with a pick is no problem, and playing with my fingers is no problem, but I just don't have the bass technique then. All right. This is my Wurlitzer piano. This was my great-grandfather Harold's piano, and my grandmother made sure she got it to me. This thing is like 130 years old. So this is a picture of my great-grandfather Harold. This is Harold's piano, and it's just awesome that I get to play his piano. Over here, just some random stuff. We have a lot of like power cables in here. We got a lot of these are my DOS cables. Boom, boom, some packages. Some air can action. So we keep just a lot of different kind of cables in here, like mostly power cord, like power, like monitors, and then everybody's got to have a little handy little toolkit. I got my little toolkit right here. Gotta have a little toolkit in the studio, right? Gotta have a little toolkit. Come on now. Come on now. So there's my little toolkit. My big boy toolkit, my big boy toolkit for the studio. So, thank you very much. My big boy toolkit for the studio. Now, going back to here. I can't even put that back together. All right, there we go. Up here, we have all these quarter-inch jacks. These are like probably 12 feet, 20 feet, but these are all our tip ring sleeve, TRS. These are all of our quarter-inch jacks. We got some RCA cables in here, to hook up turntables and to hook up record players and stuff. So yeah, all of our 1/4-inch jacks are in there. XLR cables, all my XLR cables are in there. Got a bunch of XLRs in here, ton of XLR cables. And then up here is more XLR cables. So, you know, you gotta have some wood in the studio. Everybody likes wood, right? Wood looks good in the studio. So there's my wood. Gotta have wood. Got some wood over here on the Moog. We in the wood. All right, moving on. Right here we have the Juno X. I don't own any kind of Juno keyboards, synthesizers. I was gonna buy one off Craigslist, and I live in Las Vegas, and turns out the guy was living in like Atlanta, Georgia, and I don't know why he was posting it in the Las Vegas ads. But it got me all excited, and I thought I was gonna get this vintage Juno 60 for like $1,000, and I got all excited, and you know, it was too good to be true. So, you know, by doing a lot of research, and I did the deep dive into the Junos, since I don't own any Junos, and I don't have to do any kind of upkeep, and I don't have to do any kind of repairs on an old Juno synthesizer, I just thought I would get this Juno X. And at first I loved it, and then I hated it, and then I loved it, and then I hated it. I was gonna take it back because I hated it, and then I loved it. The Fender Super Champ. This is a tube amp. It has effects built inside of it. I think it sounds amazing. Right here are my guitars. I have a Fender American Strat. This was my first electric guitar. You know, I started studying guitar in 2000. This was my first electric guitar. I didn't know anything about guitars. I just knew that if Jimi Hendrix played one, then it must be good. And a lot of other people, Eric Clapton, a lot of other musicians play it. And it's awesome. I love it. Right here, this was my first guitar. My neighbor loaned it to me, gave it to me. I don't know, maybe I stole it when I moved. But this is a classical guitar, nylon string. I've recorded a lot of songs with that. It sounds awesome. I love it. Over here we have my Taylor GS Mini. I gotta keep these in the bags because I live in Las Vegas. It's very dry. It'll damage your guitars if your humidifier is not on point. So I gotta keep my really nice acoustic guitars in bags. So there's my Taylor GS Mini. And then over there we have the Gibson SG, you know, the Angus Young, the red model, sounds awesome. So, you know, I have the Gibson SG sounds, and then I have the Strat sounds, and I got the Marshall sounds, the Fender sounds, got the classical guitar, and then I have another acoustic in the other room, and then I have another electric in the other storage room. Right here we have the Behringer, the Rhythm Designer, the RD8. It's a clone of the TR-808 from Roland. This thing is true analog, okay? It has the Roland TR-808 chips in it. I guess Roland doesn't have those chips anymore. So on all of their drum machines, you know, it's all digital. This sounds amazing. I don't know. I did a lot of research. I listened to a lot of demos on this, and comparison to the TR-808, and I thought this sounded better. To be honest, this thing's awesome. I definitely recommend this. I don't have any analog drum designers, so I don't know. I plan to keep this forever. So yeah, I really love this. It sounds fat. Okay, right here we have the Moog, the subsequent 37. So this is my first and this is my only analog synthesizer. You know, my Juno X, it's like a hybrid. It's a digital slash analog. It sounds fat, you know? I had it plugged into the wall and I was getting like a ground loop, a lot of static, and it just sounded terrible. So, you know, I plugged it into a different outlet. Actually, I didn't even plug it into the main wall. It says to plug it into the main outlet. I plugged it into my power strip, and it sounds amazing. It sounds 100% better. I'm not even running it through a DI box. I mean, I have it plugged in just into this power strip right here. If you're not getting good sounds out of it, like if you're getting static, a ground loop, phase, whatever, it could just be your wall outlet, you know? I tried plugging it into a DI box and it cut the power off tremendously. Like I had no power at all. So I didn't like that. I was like, wow, I have no power now. I mean, it sounds clean, but I have no power. So I was like, you know what? Let me hook it up a different way. And then I plugged it right into this power strip and it sounds amazing. We have the Boss MK2. It's been out for about a year. It has a lot of bugs in it still. I wish I had the MK1. You know, this one has the 4 built-in effects. What I don't like about it is that you can't pick and choose how your effects apply to each track. Like, for example, say if I'm singing and I'm playing this Yamaha keyboard at the same time, if I'm singing and I'm playing and I have an effect, and if I have the effect enabled, it's gonna put effect on my keyboard and my vocal. Like I just want effects on my vocal. I don't want effect on my keyboard because it already has effects on it. So I don't like it that it puts effects on all your tracks. I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, I've had it for several months and, you know, I can do a lot of stuff on it. Took me a while, but, you know, I'm still learning, but I don't like that all the effects are on it. I mean, you can't do things simultaneously without having effects on every track. You know, like maybe I don't want effects on like 2 tracks. Maybe I just want it on 1. But if you're performing live, I mean, there's gonna be effects on all your tracks. And then when I go from bank A to bank B, bank D, it gets stuck. Like, you know, I'm trying to push bank B and it's like froze on bank A. And then I'm trying to hit them both and I can't, it's just, I think there's still some bugs. I know there's some firmware update stuff. Yeah, but I'm having issues with the effects. If anybody knows like what's going on with the effects, please let me know in the comments down below. Here is the Yamaha CK61. This thing sounds amazing. I mean, it has like an organ equalizer right here. It has all kinds of effects built into it. Chorus, flanger, phaser, compression. It has distortion. It has reverb. It has delay. I mean, this is all stuff you tweak. It has the filters. It has the attacks and release. This thing sounds amazing. This is the Boss, the RE202 Space Echo. If I can find the original vintage one, I know there's a lot for sale on Reverb. They're just really expensive. So this is essentially my live room. This is where I like to perform live. This is where I'm doing most of my creative work, and this is where I'm jamming. Here, this is the live room, and over here, this is the mixing room back here. You know, I just finally got my studio and my house back to myself. I was taking care of my dad, and I have my brother staying here. So my brother was living in my studio, and then I had my dad in the back bedroom. So I didn't have any access to my studio or to my live room. So I had to really sacrifice a lot over the years, and I took care of my family, and I've always put my family first, and family's most important to me. And my father's no longer here anymore, so I'm glad that I got to spend every day with him, and I got to spend that time with him. You know, if you're gonna go big, either go big or go home, right? So we have, the mixing room and the control room. Let's go on and take a peek.
Dear friends, you are now about to enter the nerve center to the entire Wonka factory.
Okay, we are in the mixing room, the sound room. As you can see, I don't have a fancy mixing board, or I don't have a fancy console. I don't have really any outboard gear. Let me show you around properly. I've been using this Digi 003 rack. I was recording on a PC, and I had a sound card when I first started recording, and I went from like a PC sound card and I moved up to this 003 rack. I think it has like maybe 16 ins and 16 outs with the ADAT. So I made some amazing tracks, and I made some amazing stuff. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But you know, I am in the middle of upgrading my Macs and my audio interface. But you know, for now, I'm just still using this Digi 003 rack. And then for, you know, a little bit of mic preamp, I got this Pro MP2A. You know, I did a lot of research, and for the price and for my budget, this one, you know, works fine and sounds good. You know, I do a lot of my work in the box, so I'm using a lot of EQ and compression in the box on Pro Tools and then in Reason. But yeah, you know, and then I have like an old mixing board for like live shows. Keep my cables up here on this hat coat. When I was in audio engineering school here in Las Vegas, my professor, teacher, whatever, had this in the studio, and it just made everything look real organized. So right here, this is my snake. So when we're recording and tracking in the other rooms, you know, I'm not sure the exact feet of this snake, but yeah. So if we're recording in the other room, booyah, I'm gonna pull out this snake, and it's really accessible to have. And you know, when I put out in the other rooms, like I'll just put a rug over it, whatever, and it's not even noticeable. But yeah, definitely gotta have a snake for the studio if you don't have it built into your walls. So this is all hooked up into my interface. So I just plug into the snake, boom, boom. As you can see, it's not all of it. You know, I got a lot of channels that aren't plugged in, but the main ones that I use, I think I got like 12 of them plugged in right now into the back of this 003 rack. So yeah, that is my snake. Microphone check. Okay, right here I'm using a Neumann microphone. Sounds amazing. So this is like my main microphone I use on vocals or whatever, you know, I'm doing vocally, or sometimes I'll use it, you know, to mic instruments or whatever, but it's definitely a good mic to have in your arsenal. I can't afford the Neumann U87, but I can afford this Neumann TLM102. Monitors, These are some KLH monitors. I bought these at Costco in 1995. I think they were like $150 for one. Sounds amazing. These speakers rock, they thump, they're so loud. These are the loudest like home theater speakers, studio speakers I've heard in my life. These are the the KRKs. This is my other monitors I use. So I'll go back and forth when I'm mixing, and then boom, boom, boom. Here we have the power conditioner, the Furman Bam Merit Series. So I got everything plugged into the back of that. Got this Lexington, boom. You know, this is just a vocal effects processor. You know, I don't have hardly any outboard gear. Over here, we have a CD player I use for CD action. And right here is my Sony, boom, audio video control center. So I picked this up off Amazon. I think it was like $10. I put this down there to, you know, kind of hide the cords that are behind my work desk. So, you know, when I roll up in there, everything's fine. And from a distance, I think it gives it some aesthetics. Looks pretty cool. So, you know, if you want to hide all your cords on the bottom of your work desk, just kind of put something in the front. You know, put something underneath your MIDI keyboard, and then, you know, boom. Covers all your cords. Just a quick look at my cable management. I don't know if anybody knows these, but I got all my cords wrapped up. I got all my cords wrapped up in here, like in a snake. And then I got them going all the way to the back of the computer. So, yeah, I don't have cords running everywhere. So, I highly recommend these if you want to work on some cable management in the studio. So the coolest part of my studio is these lights that I installed. They're color changing lights. You know, man, I busted my ass, busted my back bending over putting these suckers in, but it was worth it. I mean, you can see I went around the whole room. I went around the whole studio. Took me a couple hours to do it, but I think it looks awesome because it's some aesthetics and some creativity, you know. So yeah, it came with some adhesiveness to it. So, you know, you just stick it to the floor. So that's a cool feature that I added, you know, just little things like that, you know, you can do to maybe add some creativity and add some aesthetics to your studio. You know, and I got it covered back there. I mean, it's all lit up. So this is my MIDI keyboard. It's just an M Audio. What is it? The M Audio Keyrig 49. I've had this for a while. Yeah, you know, I use Reason and I use Pro Tools, but I've been using Reason for a while. And let me pull up a track and just give you an idea of what it sounds like. So this is a track I made on here, so let's check it out.
What up, big dog? Look at don't answer on your phone. Where you at? Are you lost? You forgot what G is? We're waiting on you, doggy. Call him back.
Hey Tracy, it's Danica. I'm just calling you to tell you about my night and other stuff, so call me back. Bye.
Hey, dude. Hey, listen, I gotta say, at least you are consistent. Consistent, and that's consistency is a good thing. It's just for this, we're not showing up.
reasons I'm using this Reason Record version is that when I went to audio engineering school, I learned on the SSL, the AW900, and this is the same rack that I learned everything on. So I was extremely excited when they add this to Reason. And when they had record involved, so you can record audio live and you can record MIDI, because you couldn't do that with Reason. You could only record MIDI into it. And when they introduced Reason and Record, you can record audio into it. And it just like, oh my God, it just opened up my whole world of producing and recording. So when they added this SSL AW900 console to it, I fell in love, and I didn't need anything else. Like, I never upgraded my Reason after that. I didn't even upgrade my Mac. You know, this Mac is like, what? This iMac, I bought this in like, what, I bought this iMac in like 2007 or 8. You know, I can't get on the internet or nothing like that, but I can sure make some beats, and that's all I need to do. I can record in here. I can do everything that I want, you know, so that's why I haven't went out and bought a new Mac and did this. And I know they're not supporting the old FireWire anymore, and, you know, now they're moving over to the Lightning USB-C. So, you know, I am in between upgrading my audio interface. You know, it is time for me to upgrade my audio interface. But, yeah, I am going to keep this version of Reason and Record. I am going to keep this iMac, and I'm going to keep making music on this Reason and Record. I'm going to keep my Digi 003, and that's just one way to do music. You know, like I can use Reason, I can use Pro Tools, can use Logic, GarageBand. You know, I'm going to start learning Ableton here soon. You know, all you need to do is just learn one, and that's all you need. So, you know, I do all my beats from scratch, and I'm going to do some videos here soon on how I do my beats. But yeah, I love this Reason Record. This is the Fireface, the UCX2. This is my audio interface upgrade. You know, I was just mentioning that I'm upgrading my studio, so I am going to be installing this. I am gonna get a new laptop here pretty soon in the next week or so, because I'm sure I can't hook that up to my old iMac unless I want to wipe out my whole system. I can back it up and then I can add the new system to it, but I don't know. I'm just going to keep all this hooked up the way it is, and I'm just going to add a new interface to the studio, and I'm going to go that route for live and for studio recording. And I believe this has 24 ins and 24 outs, and it has its own app for the mixer. So I know a lot of people either have the Apollo, the Universal Audio. You know, people are either a Universal Audio interface user, and then I see people doing the Fireface, the UCX2 from RME. So I did a lot of deep diving into it, and I went ahead and made the decision with the RME. Tell me if I made the right decision. Should I have got the UA, the Apollo, or whatever it is, Universal Audio Interface? Or did I make the right decision with the RME, the Fireface UCX2? You know, I'm happy with my Digi 003 rack, and I'm happy with my old iMac. I made some fat beats. I made a lot of great hits. I made great songs with what I have. So, yep, you tell me, did I make the right choice with getting the RME Fireface UCX2, or should I have got the Universal Audio Interface? Leave comments below and you tell me. There's my box to my QSC. I'm just using it as a stand. Over here we have a couch, you know, so my guest and whoever I'm working with got a place to sit. And my friend Nick, he did all the painting to these walls. Man, he must have did this about like maybe 20 years ago. It's been like this. I've had my room painted like this for 20 years. I am upgrading. As you can see, there's a little bit of patchwork. I'm gonna be putting in a cloud up here. I mean, not myself. I'm having somebody else do it. But yeah, I'll be putting acoustic treatment on these walls. And yep, so I am upgrading the mixing room, the sound room, and there you have it. This is the mixing room. This is another room I use for recording. This has really high vaulted ceilings. This room is perfect for recording. I've recorded bands in here, recorded just drums in here, just recorded guitars in here, but I mean, you can see how high the ceilings are, how high they're vaulted. I'm not really sure the exact like feet, but yeah, it sounds amazing in here. So, you know, we'll record a whole band in here, record guitar, just record drums, put the rug down, do what I gotta do. Yeah, this area sounds amazing. So this is another room I like to use to record. And so if we're recording here, you know, there's a good chance we're going to be recording in this room too. So, yep, have it all set up. I just moved, just rearranged my furniture around. You know, do some guitar stuff over there. The acoustics in here sound amazing. So yeah, that's like my guitar area over there. Okay, last but not least is a little storage closet. Ah! As you can hear the chimes. I use these on a couple like ambience, atmospheric tracks. So yeah, this is storage right here. This is you know, some pedals for the drums, foot pedal. I got some stands. Got a couple guitar cases. What do we got? We got another keyboard stand. We got another keyboard in there. We got a pull cue. Yeah, so this is all the storage stuff. You know, it really comes in handy. And then up here we got shelves, so looks a little ratchet right now, but you know, just show you some of the microphones I got. The Beta 52, you know, that's for the kick drum. And then I got the SM57. You gotta have your Shure SM57. I got 2 of those. So there's my Shure SM57, and there's my Beta 58. This mic is very versatile. If you're a vocalist, I highly recommend it. I think I paid like maybe $175 for it. It's the blue band, but yeah, this is a great microphone. So you know, you should have this Beta 58A in your mic variety. You definitely need a studio pair of the SM57s, I'm sorry. And then these are just some like, I don't know, this isn't really a good microphone, but you know, some of these are just garbage, but I still have them. The AKG 414s are over here. We have a studio pair of the AKG 414s. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out my studio. Yeah, I'm very proud of what I've done, and I've done all this myself, you know, being in a wheelchair and having a disability. Like, I have a lot of passion for music. I really enjoy this, and yeah, I can't play professional soccer no more, and I can't skateboard and play baseball. So, you know, I'm glad that I have the gift of music, and if I was a professional athlete, my career would probably be over in the 40s. But as a musician, I mean, you can play well into your 80s and 90s. I mean, look at Keith Jarrett, look at Tony Bennett. Man, I mean, music, it's special. It's the reason why I'm still here, and it's very therapeutic, and it's very healing and very satisfying. And I put a lot of time practicing, spending a lot of time alone with my instrument, being an artist. And, you know, I'm living alone now. And, you know, I think if you really want to be at the highest level of artistry and creativity, you really need to live alone or live with other bandmates that are musicians, because I live with family members and I live with other like non-musician roommates, and it really really affects your like creativity and how you work. You know, it's just, you know, when you have other people living with you, you can't just like start, you know, making music, and you got to think about like other people. You know, I don't want to wake people up, and I don't want to make a lot of noise if people are like sleeping and resting. So, you know, I was taking care of my dad. I had my brother living here. So like I said, I had to sacrifice all this. And, you know, just like the last year, I've been, you know, getting a lot of gear, and, you know, I'm starting to live my dream. And, you know, I'm a professional poker player, and I'm a musician, and I've made some great music over the last 24 years. So, you know, I'm very motivated, and I'm looking forward to making more music and producing. So stick around for that. And thanks for hanging out. Subscribe, like, hit the whatever, do the whatever. So smash, subscribe, like, leave comments. But yep, my name's Trace Holland, and thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Peace.